Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the Kirchhoff's rules and Wheatstone bridge. Ohm's law is a very important law in the electricity, but Ohm's law is useful only for the simple circuits. For more complex circuits, Kirchhoff's rules can be used to find the current and voltage. There are two generalized rules. First one is Kirchhoff's current rule and second one is Kirchhoff's voltage rule. First we are going to discuss the Kirchhoff's first rule, that is also known as current rule or junction rule. It states that algebraic sum of the currents at any junction of a circuit is 0. It is a statement of conservation of electric charge. The current entering the junction is taken as positive and current leaving the junction is taken as negative. Let us consider this circuit where we are going to use the Kirchhoff's first rule. I am going to take the first current I1 which is entering the junction. It's flowing towards the junction. So according to first rule, it can be considered as positive. Likewise, I2, second current, is also flowing towards the junction. So it also can be considered as positive. Whereas third current is leaving the junction. It's flow away from the junction. So it can be considered as negative. So towards the junction, current towards the junction can be considered as positive. So I4 and I6 also can be considered as positive. Whereas I5 is leaving the junction. It's flow away from the junction. So I5 can be considered as negative. So according to Kirchhoff's first rule, the algebraic sum of that current will be equal to 0. So I'm going to take the first current I1. It has the positive value because it's moved towards the junction. It's entering the junction A. I1 has a positive value. What about the I2? It is also moved towards the junction. So it has the positive value I2. Look at the I3, third current. It's leaving. It's moved away from the junction. As I told already, it has the negative value. Minus I3. What about I4? I4 moved towards the junction. So it has the positive value. I5 is leaving the junction, so it has the negative value I5. I6 has the positive value. So it will be equal to the algebraic sum of all the current at the junction is equal to 0. Otherwise, I1 plus I2 plus I4 plus I6 will be equal to I3 plus I5. The negative values can be taken to that side. So it is also another one expression. Now let us discuss the Kirchhoff's second rule, which is also known as voltage rule or loop rule. It states that in a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of the products of the current and the resistance of each part of the circuit is equal to the total EMF included in the circuit. This rule follows from the law of conservation of energy for the isolated system. Let us consider this closed circuit where we are going to use the Kirchhoff's second rule. Current I is flowing through the circuit and R1, R2, R3 are the resistance in a circuit. In each part, 3 resistance are there. Let us take X as the EMF of the cell. We can take the direction of loop from A, B, C, D in an anti-clockwise direction. So in A, B, what is the current? The product of the current and the resistance I, R2 plus B, C. From B to C, what is the direction of current? It is also along the BC. It can take as a positive value. So I, same current is flowing through the circuit. I, what is the resistance here? R3 plus here what is the current? Same current I, no need to include because there is no resistance. So here DA, what is the current? Same current I. What is the resistance here? R1. So on the left side I have written the algebraic sum of the current and resistance in each part. Now it is equal to total EMF in the closed circuit. What is the EMF? X. So we have used the loop A, B, C, D. Now we can take the loop A, D, C, B, A. We can apply the second rule for this loop also. So from A to D, same thing, product of current and resistance, but the direction of loop is A to D, but what about the direction of current? D to A. So current value will get the negative sign. So minus I R1. Here no resistance, so leave that. D to C. C to B, your direction of loop is there, but what about the direction of current? B to C. So current here also current get the negative value. So minus I R3. So A, D, C, B over. Now B to A, the direction of loop is there, but what about the direction of current? It's opposite to the direction of loop. So here also the current gets a negative value. So minus I R2. In this part, what is the resistance? R2. It's equal to, it supplies the current opposite to the flow of loop. So here the EMF will get the negative value. The product of the current and the resistance is taken as positive when the direction of the current is followed. Suppose if the direction of current is opposite to the direction of the loop, the product of current and voltage across the resistor is negative. We can take this part of the circuit current is flowing from A to B. Your direction of the loop is also from A to B. Then current I will get the positive value, can be considered as positive. So voltage that is equal to plus IR. In the second case, going from B to A, the direction of loop is B to A. Then the direction of loop is against to the or opposite to the direction of current. In this case, current will get the negative value. Then voltage across the resistor P that is equal to minus IR. What we have discussed here. We have taken another one part of the circuit. The EMF is considered positive when proceeding from the negative to positive terminal of the cell. To understand this, let us take the direction of current supplied from this cell. It's along this direction, for example A to B. Suppose the direction of the loop is also along the A to B, going from A to B. So direction of loop is A to B. The direction of current which is supplied from the cell is also along the A to B, both are in the same direction. Then the EMF of the cell can be considered as positive. So here let it be capital E be the EMF of the cell. So V, potential difference, that is equal to plus E. Suppose the direction of loop is B to A, going from B to A, and what about the direction of the current supplied from the cell? It's opposite to the direction of the loop. Then the EMF of the cell can be considered as negative, V that is equal to minus E. Same thing we have applied in this example. So at the right side we have used that concept. Now we are going to discuss an important application of Kirchhoff's rule, which is known as Wheatstone bridge. It is used to compare the resistances and also helps in determining the unknown resistance in electrical network. The bridge consists of 4 resistances P, Q, R, S connected as shown in the diagram. A galvanometer G is connected between the points B and D. The battery is connected between the points A and C. The battery with the EMF E, let us take the EMF capital E, the battery is connected between the points A and C. The current through the galvanometer is Ig. The current supplied by the cell is I. When it reaches the point A, it divided into 2 parts, I1 and I2. I1 is passing through the resistance P and I2 which is passes through the resistance R. At the point B, it is divided into 2 parts. I1 is divided into 2 parts, that is I3 which is passes through the resistance Q, and Ig, as I told already, Ig is the current passes through the galvanometer. At the point D, the current I2 is further divided as I4. The current which is passes through the resistance S is I4. Now we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's rules in the Wheatstone bridge to get the value of unknown resistance. First we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's current rule, that is nothing but Kirchhoff's first rule in the junction B. Junction B is here. Once the statement of Kirchhoff's first rule, the algebraic sum of the current in the junction is equal to 0. There are 3 currents at the point B, I1, Ig and I3. Here I1 is flowing towards the junction B, so we get the positive sign I1. Second current Ig, that is current passing through the galvanometer Ig, it's leaving the junction B, so we get the negative value minus Ig. And the third current I3 is also flowing away from the junction. It's flowing away from the junction, we will get the negative sign. So I1 minus Ig minus I3, the algebraic sum of the current will be equal to 0. That's the first equation. We are going to apply the Kirchhoff's current rule for the junction D. Junction D is here. There are 3 currents, I2, Ig and I4. Here I2 is flow towards the D. So I2 will get the positive value. In this case, Ig is also flowing towards the junction D. So it is also going to get the positive value. What about the I4? It's leaving the junction D. It's flow away from the junction D. So in this case, I4 will get the negative sign. So I2 plus Ig minus I4, that is equal to, the algebraic sum is equal to 0. It is a second equation. Now we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage rule, that is nothing but Kirchhoff's second rule in the 2 loops. First I am going to take the loop A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A. What's the statement of Kirchhoff's second rule? The algebraic sum of product of current and resistance in each part is equal to EMF in the closed loop. So first part is A to B. So direction of the loop is A to B. What's the direction of current in that part? I1. I1 is also at along A to B, from A to B. So it will get the positive value. So product of the current and the resistance. In this part, I1 into IP. So I1 into IP. Second part is B to D. Here what is the current? Ig is a current. So it's also flowing from B to D. Direction of loop is B to D. And the direction of current is also in the same direction. So Ig also will get the positive value. So product of current and the resistance. So Ig into capital G is nothing but a resistance of the galvanometer. So plus Ig. To complete the loop, we have to move from D to A. So direction of loop is D to A. But in this part, what is the direction of current? I2 is flowing opposite to the direction of the loop. So I2 will get the minus value, negative value. So I2 into what is the resistance here, R. So they will get the negative value. So minus I2 R. That is equal to 0. Here we have written that is equal to 0. Because the sum of the product of the current and the resistance will be equal to EMF in the closed loop. In this closed loop, there is no EMF, there is no self. So there will be no EMF. So the algebraic sum of these values will be equal to 0. Let us consider that as a third equation. Now we are going to take the loop A, B, C, D, A. A, B, C, D, A. So let us take the first part, A to B. In this part, we have to take the current I1 and the resistance P. The direction of loop is A to B. Whatever the direction of the current I1, it is also in the same direction, A to B. So I1 will get the positive value. So I1 into what is the resistance value here? P. So I1 P. Next part, B to C. The direction of loop is B to C. Here what is the current value? I3. It is also acts from B to C. Both are in the same direction. So I3 will get the positive value. Here what is the resistance? Q is the resistance. So product of current and resistance we have written here. Next, B, C to D. The direction of loop is C to D. But in this part, what is the direction of current? Here current is I4. It acts from D to C. So here direction of current is opposite to the direction of the loop. So it will get the negative value. So minus I4. And what is the resistance here? Yes. So both are multiplied. To complete the loop, we have to move from D to A. So direction of loop is D to A. But in this part, what is the current? I2. What is the direction of the current? I2. It's flowing from A to D. In this part also, direction of the current is opposite to the direction of loop. So I2 also going to get the negative value. So minus I2 into what is the current? What is the resistance value here? R. So R, that is equal to 0. In this case also 0, because in this closed loop also there is no cell. There will be no EMF. So the algebraic sum of the product of current and resistance is equal to 0. When the points B and D are at the same potential, the bridge is said to be balanced. Then there is no potential difference between B and D. So there will be no current flows through the galvanometer because they both are in a same potential. There will be no current flow through the galvanometer. We know that current want to flow through the material means there should be a potential difference. When both B and D are in same potential, there will be no flow of current. So Ig value is equal to 0. This value can be substituted in equation 1, and equation 2 and equation number 3. So here this value can be substituted as 0. So there will be no Ig. So Ig can be taken away. So here also Ig into G, that will be equal to 0. So now equation 1 becomes I1 minus I3 that is equal to 0 and I2 minus I4 that is equal to 0. I1P minus I2R that is equal to 0. Now equation 1 takes a new form, that is I1 that is equal to I3 can be considered as equation number 5. And the equation 6 is rearranged from the equation number 2. So 7th one is rearranged from the equation number 3. Now we can substitute the equation number 5 and the 6 in the equation number 4. According to equation number 5, I3 that is equal to I1. So instead of I3, I can write I1. So according to equation number 6, I4 that is equal to I2. So instead of I4, we can substitute I2. So we can substitute the value. So here I have substituted the 5 and 6 in the equation number 4. So instead of I3, I have written I1. Instead of I4, I have written I2. So the negative values can be taken to other side. So they will take the positive value. So here which is a common thing, I1 is a common value. Here I2 is a common value that can be taken outside. Here I have taken the I1 outside. Here I2 is taken outside. So we are going to get a new equation, that is equation number 8. Now we are going to divide the equation number 8 by the equation 7. So I1 P plus Q divided by I1 P. I2 right hand side of the 8th equation, I2 within a bracket S plus R divided by I2 R. Here it will be cancelled. I1 can cancel. Here I2 can be cancelled. So what is the remaining thing? P plus Q by P, that is equal to S plus R divided by R. Here this expression can be rewritten as P by P plus Q by P, that is equal to S by R plus R by R. P by P, that is nothing but 1 plus Q by P, that is equal to S by R plus 1. So here 1 can be cancelled. Suppose that 1 is taken that side, that will be minus 1. So that can be cancelled from this equation. So Q by P, that is equal to S by R. It also can be written as, take reciprocal, P by Q, that is equal to R by S. This is only known as bridge balance condition. Only this condition, the galvanometer shows the null deflection. If 3 of the resistance are known, the value of unknown resistance, that is the 4th one, can be determined. For example, if you want the value of P, that is unknown resistance, and you know the values of other resistance, other three resistance, P, the Q, R, S values you know, but you don't know the value of P. And how can you find the value from this expression? E that is equal to Q can be taken that side, R by S into Q. Using this expression, you can find the unknown resistance. That is application of Wheatstone mesh.